Happy New Year, Happy New Year to Ugandans. Happy New Year to everyone in Uganda, and Happy New Year to every Ugandan living in the United States. I know it's an eve in the United States, but I think in Uganda they're already in 2023. Yes, Happy New Year. Let's presume it will be a happy one. James William Mugeni is my name. I'm a medical clinic officer by profession and a certified public manager. Yes, James William Mugeni, I'm living in the United States. This is my 7th year here. And being away from home maybe draws me so much to things that are happening at home. And I would like to say maybe for me 2022 was summarized yesterday for me when I saw the military descend on Makerere University, when we saw the military descend on a prayer, whatever prayer meeting by what you call the members of opposition or members of opposition. To me, those two events summarize for me 2021. Now, to the military. I am a man in uniform. I normally call myself a man in uniform because when I talk about being in uniform, then all of you who have masks on your mouth, you know what that means. That's the war I fight. We fight diseases, so we are also militarized in some way or the other. But to the men in uniform, I'm now meaning the armed personnel, the army, the police, a lot of things that are going on in Uganda. The destitution that is in Uganda, the desperation that is in Uganda, the despair that is in Uganda is caused by you, the military. I don't think you are enjoying as the military to run after Ugandans. I don't think you are enjoying to run after Ugandans. It's so embarrassing to see that you can descend on the university. There's an image which is circulating on social media where a man in a red top with an AK-47 and I think about 6 magazines of rounds, 6 magazines of bullets running as after a lecturer with a book. When we were in primary, specifically primary 6, we learned of the barbarians who destroyed the Roman Empire. And in P6, primary 6, where they were mentioned, the Ottoman Turks, the Huns, the Goths, the men in the military, the men in uniform. You seem to be taking the shape of the barbarians. When you can descend on a university, when you can send on a university a center of excellency, a center of higher learning, and you beat people to smithereens, and you interfere with an election at the university level, that tells you that we are taking a barbaric path. Still to that, there was a young man who was shot. That is an image for medicine also. That young man was crying for help. He was bleeding. To some of us, and some of you who are in the US, you know it, that in the US, a policeman who will shoot you will even try to save you, will even try to stop the bleeding. We saw a young man crying under a tree, seated on a tire, and yelling. And the colleagues were saying, there's nowhere to pass. I am sure even the military, you know your convention, that after you have disabled a man, after you have put down a man, you don't go down and finish him. The policemen, Men in uniform, you are watching that young man crying, desperation for help, and you just looked on. That's a bad image. And to the medics, my colleagues in uniform, that's an act that we as a medical profession ought to condemn and ought to talk about it. Public administration is multidisciplinary. We have seen now the army attack every institution. The army is attacking every institution because Museveni himself is a military man. The medics are now kneeling before him. That's a wrong image for medicine. The church is now subdued. That's a wrong image for faith. The lawyers, the people who are supposed to defend the law, have all been subdued. All institutions have collapsed. And this is all done by the military. Now, to change the action, to change what is happening in Uganda, is upon you, the military. I'm challenging you. It's upon you, the military. It's upon you, the military. If you are a professional army, if you believe you're a professional army, I hope you understand what I'm saying. People are crying out to you. I don't think people should pour on the streets before you know that you should have acted otherwise. Yes, Museveni himself told us the army, the military, survives by the will of the people. Watafiri himself has mentioned it that there is no army stronger than the people. Tinyemfunza himself has mentioned it that there is no army stronger than the people. We are crying out. Our voices are out everywhere. Yes, Museveni, you came to the United States, and now in America we believe America cannot help us. Yes, Ugandans tried to run to church yesterday. I think you disrupted the church. You disrupted them to show them where is your God. A similar thing that the devil one time told Jesus, if you know if you're a son of God, jump and see if your God will save you. And I think I remember Jesus answered him, never tempt. Never tempt your God. So the actions that we saw yesterday, summarized from the 2022, yes, and I'm appealing to the military. If you are part of us, if you are there because of us, then we want to see you beginning to defend us other than kill us. Happy New Year. Let's start a new year on a happy note. I salute you all, Ugandans. Thank you for listening to me.